Hi there. Today I'm sharing the performance of my first rental property from years 2 to 4. I bought my first rental at 40 in 2021. I shared the performance of that first rental in a previous video, and I got some comments from my viewers that they'd be interested to know the performance of the asset the succeeding years. So in the next 2 minutes, I'm sharing the performance, income, expenses, cash flow, and cash-on-cash return, so you can decide if this is worth it for you. It's a lot of numbers, so I'm keeping it high level to make it a little more consumable. Welcome to my channel, Midlife Money and Miles, where I'm sharing my journey of how I am navigating points, miles, and finances as a midlifer. I'm not a guru nor an influencer. I'm just a regular midlifer sharing my journey. If this kind of content helps you, a like and a subscribe would mean a lot. Thank you so much in advance. My first rental that I bought at 40 was a turnkey property. I created a video about the results on year 1. I'm gonna try to link it somewhere if I can figure out how to do it. My projected cash-on-cash return was 7%. It was newly rehabbed, so I didn't have a lot of repairs and maintenance on year 1. Here's a quick recap of year 1. Rental income, $9,130. Expenses, $5,773. Cash flow, $3,357. And my cash-on-cash return on year 1 was 11%. Year 1 exceeded my expectations in terms of cash-on-cash return. I was very happy with the results. It was proof of concept that this works. Year 2 was similar to year 1. In hindsight, I think I had a really good tenant. The tenant wanted to stay in year 2, and my property manager suggested keeping the rent as is. The tenant paid on time and took good care of the property. There were minimal repairs in year 2. Here are the numbers. Rental income, $13,200. Expenses, $9,341. Cash flow, $3,859. And my cash-on-cash return was 12%. Year 3 is when the normal wear and tear of the property started to show. I also had turnover in year 3. These factors caused my expenses to go up that year. Year 3 was also the year that I realized I needed to keep really good tabs on my income and expenses. When I started experiencing turnover and repairs and maintenance became more common, it forced me to do my bookkeeping and track everything on a monthly basis. I didn't do a very good job at this in years 1 and 2. I was sporadically logging income and expenses because there weren't a lot of them. It was a mad scramble during tax season. I also changed how I looked at my profit and loss statement in year 3. I separated the debt from the operational expenses so I could clearly see where my expenses were coming from. Here are my income and expenses for year 3. Rental income, $12,133. Expenses, $10,675. Cash flow, $1,458. And my cash-on-cash return was 5%. In year 4, I experienced turnover again. I also continued to have repairs and maintenance. The rent did go up slightly though. I tried to manage my expenses this year by shopping for insurance and for increasing my deductible in order to lower my insurance premium. Here are my income and expenses for year 4. Rent income, $14,054. Expenses, $12,393. My cash flow was $1,661, and my cash on cash return was 6%. For the more seasoned investors out there, I'm curious if these numbers mirror what you've experienced in a turnkey property. Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious about your journey and experience and would love to learn how you navigate the challenges of increasing expenses. Here's what I've learned the past 4 years. Number 1, cash flow is not linear. I thought the first 2 years would just keep happening and cash flow would keep flowing in. I quickly realized in year 3 that there are ebbs and flows in buy and hold rentals. Years 1 and 2 were amazing, at least for a first-time real estate investor like me. But years 3 and 4 were okay. Second, budget for repairs, maintenance, and vacancy. Setting aside the money budgeted for repairs, maintenance, and vacancy is really important because those expenses do come up. Number 3, turnover is costly. It's costly because of 3 things. First is vacancy. I didn't have income coming in from that rental during the vacancy period. Second was repairs and maintenance. The property needed to be turned for normal wear and tear. And 3, I still needed to pay for all those operational expenses like insurance, property taxes, and mortgage, even if the property was vacant. Lesson number 4, a good tenant is an asset. A tenant that pays on time and takes care of the property is a huge asset and can really help minimize expenses. I realized that the longer a good tenant stays, the better it is for the performance of the asset. And number 5, being optimistic is good, but this must be balanced with conservative scenarios when analyzing deals. When I first analyzed this deal, my projected cash on cash return was 5%. The goal of this first rental was to start playing the game. It wasn't really to get a home run or to replace my W income. I was conservative in all my assumptions. Once we got the first tenant in place and we ran the numbers again, the cash on cash return was projected to be around 7%. For the purposes of this video, I averaged my cash flow the past 4 years and computed my cash on cash return if I were to average everything. And when averaged, the cash on cash return for 4 years was 8%. At the time of this recording, we're halfway through 2025. I'm closely monitoring the performance of this asset while also keeping in mind it's a long-term play and it's at least a 10-year journey. I'm still in the middle of it. I hope this adds value for midlifers that are starting something new, like real estate investing. Thanks for watching and for being part of this journey with me. Real estate investing isn't always smooth sailing, but every year and every experience teaches me something new. If you're a fellow midlifer wondering if it's too late to start investing or trying something new, let this be proof that it's not. I bought my first rental at 40 with no prior experience. And while the road hasn't been perfect, it's been worth it. It's never too late to start, and it can be done. I'd love to hear from you, whether you've had similar experiences or are just getting started. I hope you drop a comment below. Let's learn from each other. If you found this helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I hope we keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and take care.